Let's go ahead and get this meeting started tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone. Welcome tonight to the regular City Commission meeting here Monday, February 9th, 2026. Welcome to all those in the audience and those watching on YouTube. First thing we'll do is roll call.
Benson. Here. Birch.
Here.
Brunick.
Here.
Sarda.
Here.
Conkling.
Here.
Hunoff.
Here.
Mosier.
Here.
Spencer.
Here.
Mayor Villanueva.
Here.
City Manager Leon.
Here.
City Attorney Denherter.
Here.
Okay, next we'll approve the minutes of the regular meeting of January 26th, 2026. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed nay. Anyone abstaining? Minutes approved. Okay, next we have the schedule of bills. Before you are those bills, Commission. What is your pleasure?
Move to pay the bills. Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any commission discussion? Anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hunoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, bills will be paid. Next, we have the city manager's report.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of the Commission. A few things for you this evening. First, our mission is working together to provide exemplary experiences, services, and spaces that create opportunities for everyone to learn, engage, and thrive. In your SharePoint, there will be a packet item for an upcoming work session. That is your work session on March 30th, pertaining to the conversation we're going to have about the library project. Mostly they are questions posed to you to help our conversation for that work session. In the meantime, Jean will be reaching out to you, commissioners, to see if you'd like to schedule a time to walk through the library with Dana and I and have some initial conversation, ask some questions, maybe get some history. We're also going to reach out to your liaison, who is Commissioner Birch, and see if he wants to join us if he's available. So you can have some information ready for when you all sit down and visit together on March 30th. So she'll be reaching out to you. Not mandatory. Some of you have been on the library board of trustees as liaison. You already know a lot about the library and about the potential project coming up, but for those of you who might want more information, that'll be an opportunity for you. Also, if you're interested in attending the South Dakota Municipal League District 3 meeting, that is on March 24th. Basically what that is a legislative review by the Municipal League and a chance to network and visit with other folks from our Municipal League district. That'll be held in Lenox this year. The city of Lenox is hosting that. So some of us staff will be heading up to Lenox, and if you would like to attend, please let Jean know by February 27th. Just send her an email. There'll be a dinner and then a program put on there. And if we think we'll have a quorum, we'll let the media know, of course. We are closed on Monday in observance of President's Day, so there'll be information going out, but the solid waste and recycling Monday routes next week will be moved to Tuesday, and I believe the transfer station is closed on Monday. Reminder that coming up on the 15th is the Battle of the Badges, so we'll have law enforcement and EMS and our fire department battling it out for a good cause. That'll be 1:30 at Mount Marty on the 15th. Also coming up, many of us are involved in the Rockathon with the center. And I won't tell you where to place your dollars and who to sponsor. There's some staff, but also some very important people at this table that are rocking and trying to raise money. So you'd be the judge as to who you want to participate in your fundraising. But if you want to look towards the center of the table, that might be a good suggestion. I don't have anything else, Mayor. I know you have a long agenda. If there's questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. And I know you'll be happy to tell them where they can place donations for the Rockathon.
That's fair. Commissioners, do you have any questions for the city manager? Okay, seeing no mics pop on. Yes, again, please do support the Rockathon. Great thing to support. And yes, here at the front table, there's going to be people rocking that you can definitely support towards the center of the table. So next, we have the public appearances. So now is the time for a public appearance for anyone that would like to come to the microphone for anything not on the agenda tonight. If you'd like to come up, you have about 3 minutes to speak. Please do so now. Please state your name. I think it's on.
Live? Are we live? Okay. All right. Good evening. My name is Tom Stengram. I'm here on behalf of the VFW here in Yankton. I am the quartermaster for the organization. And I wanted to apologize because over the past about 72 hours, there has been an absolute firestorm on Facebook of misinformation and even the city council, the mayor being dragged into this and blamed for the supposed fire sale of the VFW. I'm here to tell you we are not closing the VFW post in Yankton. It is going to remain open. We are facing some challenging times right now. We have an aging membership. We have declining participation. We've lost about 27.5% of our members over the past 10 years. Excuse me. Right now, 60% of our members are over the age of 70. And only 5% or less than 5% of our members are under the age of 50. Those dynamics don't set up very well for the future of an organization. We do have a building that's paid for in town, but we're going to have to look at making some changes to our business model. So what I have done since coming on a month ago as the quartermaster is I've started to form together some ideas, which we're going to go through and discuss at our meeting tomorrow night. It has been advertised that this is an open public forum, which as a private club entity in the state of South Dakota, it is not open to the public. We do welcome the public to come up and enjoy our pancake feeds and Chislic night and certainly darts and pool and everything else that we have to offer. But the meeting is closed to the public unless invited in specifically by the commander of the post. So anyways, I just wanted to clear some of those things up. And again, the city was unfairly dragged into this and blamed for being a part of this, along with some members of the community at certain banking institutions. And they have nothing to do with this. This is an internal matter that we need to work through. And just last year, we lost 40 of our members just from passing away and moving out of the area and being retired. So we do face some challenges as all the civic organizations, not only here but across the country do, just because of the lack of the youth movement and wanting to join programs like Rotary or Sertoma, the VFW, the American Legion. All of these organizations, which do great things for the community, are really suffering from lack of participation and membership. So with that, I'll certainly stand by for any questions that you may have.
Well, thank you, Mr. Stengrim. First off, thank you for your service. Thank you for that clarification. Obviously, we as a city have nothing to do with the VFW, at least internally and the workings of the VFW, but I am an auxiliary member, a proud auxiliary member of the VFW, but of course I don't have any voting privileges for anything to do with the VFW membership itself.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
any questions for Mr. Stengrim?
Once again, thank you for your service. I do have one quick question.
Sure.
Can you define you said you're the quartermaster. Can you define that for us, please?
So it's basically a treasurer. So, yeah, in a normal corporate structure, I'd be considered the treasurer of the organization. We're, in the military world, they refer to that as a quartermaster.
Thank you for clearing that up.
You're welcome. And I set my 3-minute timer here.
You did great.
It went off.
Any other questions? Okay.
All right, thank you
All right,
very
thank
much
you.
for your time. I appreciate it.
Anyone else like to come up to the microphone? Okay, we're seeing no movement here in the room. We will go ahead and move on. Next, we'll go to our consent items. We have one item under our consent items, and that's to establish the public hearing for sale of alcoholic beverages, February 23rd of 2026, as a date for the public hearing for a new retail on-off sale wine and cider license for the Yankton Area Senior Center, doing business as The Center, 900 Whiting Drive, Yankton, South Dakota. Commission, do I have a motion?
Move the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, nay. Anyone abstaining?
I will abstain as I serve on the board of the directors at the center.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else? Okay, and then this motion is approved. We'll move on. Move on to old business. Item number 1 under old business, this is the second reading and public hearing of ordinance number 1104, amending the standard schedule for regular meetings of the Board of City Commissioners for the City of Yankton. Consideration of memorandum number 26-43, recommending that the City Commission approve ordinance number 1104, amending the standard schedule for regular meetings of the Board of City Commissioners for the City of Yankton. Commission, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so you have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion? Seeing no mics come on? Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. Did you have something, Amy? Oh, okay. Your mic came on. Anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Birch,
Aye.
Brunick,
Aye.
Sarda,
Aye.
Conkling,
Aye.
Hanoff,
Aye.
Mosier,
Aye.
Spencer,
Aye.
Benson,
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, next we'll move on to item number 2 under old business. This is the second reading and public hearing of ordinance number 1103, supplement number 1 to ordinance number 1099, the 2026 annual appropriation ordinance. Consideration of memorandum number 26-30, recommending the City Commission conduct the public hearing and second reading of ordinance number 1103, amending and supplementing ordinance number 1099 for the 2026 City of Yankton annual appropriations ordinance and adopting said ordinance. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion? Seeing no mics come on. Anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Brunick,
Aye.
Sarda,
Aye.
Conkling,
Aye.
Hanoff,
Aye.
Mosier,
Aye.
Spencer,
Aye.
Benson,
Aye.
Birch,
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 3 under old business. This is public hearing and second reading for ordinance number 1105, proposed amendments to special events, temporary street closures, and no parking zones. Consideration of memorandum number 26-31, recommending the City Commission conduct the public hearing and second reading of ordinance number 1105 and adopt said ordinance amendments in Chapter 14, Motor Vehicles and Traffic. And before I take a motion on this, I will have, Todd, would you mind talking about this just a bit? And really only tell us the things that have changed, if you don't mind.
Mayor and Commissioners, this goes back to the discussions we had last summer and then that we wrapped up with some proposals, tabled, and then came back when had more discussions. So what we have here is special events, no parking downtown, and this ordinance really laid out the A-frame white signs, and you had to have paper taped to them, and there were specific things you had to have on them. So now this ordinance is looking at the downtown area, and we've defined it, but we're getting away from those A-frame signs. And we're also having the event organizer now come to the city commission as a part of being approved for the event that they're turning an application in for. So not just up to city staff. And what that's going to do is allow for us to publish that, hey, there's going to be a first reading and a second reading hearing to approve this application. So that starts the notification process that these are the dates proposed and these are the streets or half blocks that are going to be closed. And that's spelled out in there. They can come, and if they would have issues with it and don't want to see the event happen, be able to make that in a public meeting here. The A-frame signs go away, so once the commission says, yes, this is okay, we're going to do this, then in this ordinance, we also start to spell out that you can, as the downtown, we're going to work with Thrive, and we're going to have them do a sign up. Hopefully, most people go the email route. Some may still choose to do mailings. But between mailings and emails, 45 days before the event happens, everybody in the downtown district, and since it's email, if there's anybody in the community that wants to be on this list to receive these for special events, they will get that email or postcard in the mail, again, spelling out specifically event name, where it's taking place, dates, times, what half block or block's going to be closed, and no more A-frames, nothing posted up downtown, and everybody's confused about when we can't park and can and that way. I think those were the majority of the changes we were looking at with this one. In coming meetings, we're going to have another set of an ordinance, I guess we'd call it an ordinance, is that right, Ross? Ordinance for non-downtown area, and then one for parades. Ross felt more comfortable getting stuff into ordinance, so we have something to come back to.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that explanation, Todd. Please don't go too far, because I might cue you up for the next one here in a second. But so with that explanation, Commission, do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further commission discussion? Yes, Commissioner.
So without the A-frames, people who aren't on the email list, will it be up to the downtown people to say you can't park here? How
So
would that be tackled?
again, historically, how it has worked is there hasn't been a lot of towing that happens with it. So the list we have, right, that we put together was business property owners, business owners, and residents. And again, that's defined from Lynn Street to Burley and Fifth Street down to the river. So everybody can still get that mailing unless we hear from them that, and again, we're going to make contact with them and try to get them onto the email list. But everybody will still get that physical postcard if they don't choose to, no, I don't need the postcard, I'm on the email list. So we're trying to get everybody contacted that way. But yes, it would be up to the businesses downtown to make sure. I think it was during the holiday parade of lights, we had somebody complain at whichever business downtown, doesn't matter now. But yes, when that happens, normally on those weekends and stuff is getting set up, everything is closed by then. So it's more of the ones that stayed parked in the downtown area overnight. And then again, if we can work around the cars that are there, the police department has always been pretty good about trying to track down who the owners are so we can have an idea of where we need to get to or who to call. But no, hopefully between postcards and email, the downtown, again, if it's a car that's left there from somebody being out for the evening, then we're going to have to try to make contact and get it moved. Without, again, towing is the last resort, and historically through the years, there hasn't been a lot of towing that's taken place. But
Okay, good question, Commissioner. Any other?
the other part of that is we're hoping we went from 3 blocks wide area down to a half block or a block. So again, the number of vehicles that could be involved, we could hopefully get to a minimum, so.
Any other questions, commissioners? Okay. Seeing no mics pop on, I will entertain a motion. Oh, I do. Sorry about that. So I got a motion and a second. I got a motion on the floor. No further discussion. Anyone from the public? Please state your name at the mic, please.
Nancy Winandy, up here representing Yankton Thrive. I appreciate the opportunity to work with Todd to try and create a notification system that will work. One of the challenges that I think we're going to encounter is for the physical mailing. While we have the addresses, some of the buildings might have one address and then suite A, B, C, and D, and there's turnover of those places that are located there, and doing a mailing to everyone in the district is over 400 addresses, and at the price of a postage stamp right now, I believe is 76 or 78 cents, you're looking at over $350 just on postage to do a mailing. So one of the things that I had suggested to Todd is we do an initial mailing to everybody and then say, here are the ways for you to get notified. And one of those choices could be, or if you don't respond, we're just not going to put you on the list. So it really is the responsibility of people to get signed up to either receive an email, we could do a text notification, and then a limited list of people who might want a physical mailing for those. Because I know we can post it on our website. The city will probably have it on their website. There will probably be lots of social media. You can do PSAs. There's a lot of ways to get that information out there and not have to bear that cost of $350 for every event that's being hosted, because the majority of these are being hosted by nonprofits, and I think it's not a good use of funds to be doing a mailing that for most people are probably just going to throw away, quite honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a very good idea, Nancy. Yes, Commissioner.
I don't know if it's for Nancy or Todd or who. Do we have a way that if we do run into an issue and we find it's repeat offenders or people not on the list or something like that, do we have kind of a process in place that either Todd, you, Luke, somebody in the city will visit? I guess I'm looking down the road because, kind of with what you said, Nancy, which makes sense. I could see there's some people not, if there's certain buildings or issues that we have, do we have something in place to kind of track that? And I see Ross has his mic on, so I don't know if you have thoughts for that, but I was just kind of curious.
Okay, so this is sort of indirectly answering your question, but the way you'll see it's worded here is that this commission may adopt by resolution the policy or procedure that is followed for those notices, and this will be a bit of a molding of the clay to figure out how to get this right. And I think as we proceed, I think the people who maybe call and complain that I didn't know about this are going to get directed and put in contact with Thrive and get on the list of their choosing. And I think it will, in relatively short order, one summer of foibles and fumbles, it will level out and work, I think, fairly functionally moving forward. But there's going to be a bit of trial and error, and we would ask the public to be very patient and forgiving in this first year.
Anything else for Nancy? Okay, thank you, Nancy. Anyone else from the public? Okay, seeing no movement, roll call.
Sarda?
Aye.
Conkling?
Aye.
Hanoff?
Aye.
Mosier?
Aye.
Spencer?
Aye.
Benson?
Aye.
Birch?
Aye.
Brunick?
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva?
Aye, motion passes. Next, let's go ahead and go to number 4, which will be the special events fee resolution for 2026 and beyond. Consideration of memorandum number 26-32, recommending the city commission implement the adjusted fees and resolution number 26-08 for special events in 2026 and beyond. And Todd, before I entertain a motion, would you please just buzz through those fees for us, if you don't mind?
Yeah, and again, going back, These fees were proposed way back at the first meeting when the motions were tabled, so not a lot has changed here, but we will touch on them again. So again, splitting up the classifications, we've had classifications before, but again, after a couple of years now of working through this, we've got it down to Tier 1 classification, any event involving alcohol sales. And there will be a step increase for these, so there will be one fee in 2026, and then it will increase in 2027, going from 200 to 400 over those 2 years for those any event involving alcohol sales. And this is the application fee for us to work through, get the paperwork to all the department heads and sign off on this. And this not necessarily applies not only to what we're just talking about here, street closures, but this would apply for big events if they wanted to be in the park or somewhere else that way also. This is an application fee. Tier 2 is for any event special event not involving alcohol sales. So again, through the years, we have had some events where they don't want to sell alcohol and alcohol is not involved, but it's still a big special event. So $100 in 2026, it goes to $200 in 2027. And then Tier 3 classification, which is a lot of the events that we deal with, parades, races, runs, walks, and even non-meridian district closures. Think there of block parties that happen in neighborhoods in the community. Again, we don't have an overwhelming number of those, but we do have one pop up every now and then. So there's a $60 fee for that this year, and then in 2027 and beyond, it goes to $100. The Meridian District, as we talked about at that last meeting in October, November timeframe, of having a street/alley usage fee, and it's $500 per block or per alley. And again, if they only wanted to do a half a block, which we can do when there's alleys involved, so people don't get stuck with their cars, it could drop down to $250 for a half block for that. So that's in there. We do provide power. We have power in alleyways downtown along 3rd Street, but we also have power in the parks. And so again, any event, we do have a $25 fee for having electricity available for their events. And then we also talked about all of the moving of different materials. And so we looked at it, what can we haul in a load? And talking loads most of the time is a trailer. So one trailer, and we move barricades, we'll move traffic barrels, candles, cones to help with blocking off streets if they are on a street and going to do a half block or a block closure. A-frame no parking signs, there still may be need for those. That again is not necessarily the A-frames that used to get put up ahead of time. So those are actually no parking signs that could get used depending on where the event's at and what it's trying to stop people from parking in different areas. We got garbage barrels, and there we'll do up to a max of 25 barrels per load. And then, of course, picnic tables is the big one. We can load 7 tables of the aluminum tables on one trailer, and we have 28 picnic tables that we keep in the park shop yard. So we can haul 4 loads or 28 tables max to an event that's going to be on the street. Again, as we talked through last summer, fall, if the event so chooses to be in one of our parks, then we already have tables in place. So if an event would choose to be in Riverside Park, we have 5 different shelters between the baseball stadium and the Capitol building, and there's a lot of picnic tables there. So then we don't have to start hauling tables either. They're already there, just need to be moved. So there's different fees there, either 25 or 50, depending on the material that we're moving. And again, most of the time, with these special events, they take place on weekends, and so we end up moving stuff on during the week, and it used to be Fridays and Mondays. Well, we're trying to figure out how to get it to, if they block off streets in the downtown, we're going to move the stuff to parking lots, because again, Thursday night, Friday night, before the event gets set up, we have had complaints from business owners about stuff sitting in parking spaces or on the corners, and so we're going to get it delivered Wednesday or Thursday to parking lots, and then the event organizer and their troops have to get things moved in the morning of, usually on Saturday mornings. But we still have to move it during the week. Sometime we have to go pick it up on Monday, and so we'll keep track of our hours and charge $30 per hour per worker. And again, usually they're working in pairs, so you're talking about 2 workers. As we move all those things they may request and want for their events. And again, police department was involved in our discussions last summer, fall, and so we talked about having 2 officer minimums when they are requested at an event, and also having 2-hour minimums. And they do traffic control as well as sometimes be at the special events. So $50 per hour per officer, rounded up to the hour after that 2-hour minimum. So if you need them for 3 or 4 hours, that's going to be the 2-hour minimum plus 1 or 2 more hours. If you only need them for an hour, it's still going to be the 2-hour minimum that we're going to charge you. Police department also, again, touched on this a little bit, but requested on-site presence. So we have traffic control, think old iron tractor parade coming out of Paddle Wheel Point to get onto the Highway 50. And then at the event, so if Rock and Rumble would want the police in uniform walking around the event, same deal, $50 per hour per officer, rounded up, 2-hour minimum. And then fire department, again, through the years, haven't had a lot of this, but again, other towns have, so you never know with the request with fireworks and different things. But if they wanted fire protection, they were going to shoot off fireworks, 2-hour minimum for the fire department, and it's $50 per hour per truck, not per firefighter, but $50 per hour per truck. And again, there's a 2-hour minimum. So, those
Okay,
are the
Tom.
fees.
Thank you for buzzing through those. Now, the reason I asked you to do that is that I realize that some of these fees, they sound high, right? But the reality of it is that, one, we know how much work it takes staff to coordinate all the logistics and actually do the physical work, all of this. And so what I'm getting at is it's not like this isn't making the city money is where I'm going here.
No, we're just trying to recoup some of the hourly wages and the fees. Yeah, and especially staff time going through applications, contacting the other department heads, reaching back out to event organizers, having meetings. Yeah, we do not cover costs that way, but
And at some point, we probably even delve into overtime, I'm guessing.
depending on the event and days and what happens to be going on those Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Mondays, yes.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions for Todd before I entertain that motion?
I've got a quick question on the $500 for Meridian District, for the usage of the street block alley. Is that for like per event, or is that it's not per day, it's per event? Is that correct?
It'd be per event.
Per event. So
Most
if
of
it
the
was-
time, again, as we talked through this last year, Rib Fest, Rock and Rumble, Third on Third, they're only 1-day events. We don't have many 2-day events that take place on the streets in the Meridian District.
Okay, thank you.
But it would be per event. That's how we have it set up at this time.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, we'll entertain that motion then.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further commission discussion?
I think the only other comment that I have, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump.
It's okay.
Apologize. Is that this is moldable, right? As Ross was talking about before, we're trying to figure out how to make this work for everyone in the community. And this is our best foot forward. And if it doesn't work in the future, we can change it, mold it to have it work for the community.
Good comment. Yes, Commissioner.
It was also meant to help make it easier on Parks and Rec and the police, because there were a lot of things that they were dealing with. This helps streamline it for them, so we're not abusing our resources as much.
Yes. Yes, Commissioner, go ahead.
I would like to address the fee of $500 per city block. We've got a two-step process here for 2026 and the other tiers, and I would like to see us do the same thing with the street blockages and reduce that to 250 the first year, since, as our city attorney says, we're kind of molding this, and just kind of gives us an opportunity to see how it's affected. A lot of these events are non-for-profit entities, and so let's give them, a little bit of a break as we all try to discern our way forward. And we've had one community member reach out to us that was the feeling that was shared with us as well. So I would like to see that adjustment.
I'd be willing to amend my motion to accommodate that request. So that way, the first year would be 250, the second year, 2027, it would go to 500.
Is the second to that motion?
I'd second that.
Okay, so you're okay with that amendment? Okay. Okay, so any more, since we have an amended motion, any commission discussion on what we have now? Okay, anyone from the public? Roll call.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 5 under old business, public hearing for sale of alcoholic beverages. Consideration of memorandum number 26-34, recommending the city commission approve the application for a special on-sale liquor license for 2 days, April 17th and 18th, 2026, from SD JCI Senate, 1200 South Glendale Ave, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, for an event at the NFAA 800 Archery Lane, Yankton, South Dakota. Commission, what's your pleasure?
Motion to approve the license application.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion? Seeing no mics, come on, anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. We move into new business. Right now, we have item number 1 under new business is leadership training. Consideration of memorandum number 26-27, recommending the city commission approve funding for the leadership training program for the city of Yankton. And before I entertain a motion, Brittany, would you mind touching on this, please?
So this would be a 2-day, to kind of two-part, I guess should say, leadership training. So the first day would be a full-day session with what we've kind of specified as middle managers. Now that might, depending on the department, include some department heads. It might include like third-line supervisors even. It would kind of just depend how many people from each department are able to make the training. That would be a full-day training. We would work with kind of put together a design team is what he calls it, where there's going to be 3, 4, or 5 people that are attending the training that will be involved in kind of putting together the agenda for the full day so that there's input from supervisors, directly from middle managers on what they are experiencing as far as things that they're struggling with or areas that the staff need to get better on, that they need to get better on helping lead the staff, those type of things. And then the second part would be with the commissioners, with the elected officials. The trainer, John Baronic, he would be interested in having a session, an interview session, a phone session with every commissioner to determine, he would facilitate the conversation with some questions to help guide where that training would go. And that would be a half-day training that he would be doing with elected officials.
Okay. And I believe he comes highly recommended, does he not?
Yes, yep, he's been involved in quite a few trainings in the Yankton community, so he's familiar with our community, which helps. And yes, he's, from the references that we checked, very highly recommended.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions for Brittany?
Just
Yes.
for full disclosure, what's the approximate total?
If you go into his proposal, it breaks it down. So the total cost with all the groups, $9,500. So you can see where he breaks it down, what the first day session, what that cost is, and then what the second day cost with the elected officials is.
Okay. Yes, Commissioner.
Yeah, Brittany, I have just a couple of questions on this. And I guess my first one is,
where this request is coming from, because I know we've done like strategic planning. This was not discussed on that. We did how many budget meetings and approved the budget, and this was not in the budget. So I'm trying to figure out like where this is coming from, especially too in a tight budget year where we've had to make cutbacks. If I could get more behind why this is coming up now after we already approved the budget and why this is being requested, that would be great.
Sure. I think it wasn't discussed maybe before because we didn't know what that budget would look like. But I know that we've had some requests from commissioners that just to look at it. So is it something that is feasible that we're able to put together for this year to just try to take a look and see where it fits?
So as a group, the mid-managers or the manager's staff has asked for this to come forward, but you said commissioners have asked for this? So people on us commission have asked for the training and/or that
For
there be
leadership, yep, for leadership. I think the middle managers, we do a great job of finding the people that are excelling in our organization to be able to promote them, but maybe not providing them with the tools to learn, to teach them how to lead others. They're great at what they do, but helping them with the tools to be able to lead a team.
And Amy, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Who's going on? Go ahead, Commissioner, go ahead.
Amy, you had shared with me maybe a year or two ago, I asked what the city does for leadership training, and you shared with me a booklet that was done. I don't remember the year of that, though, when was the last time this training was done?
Yeah, I think it was a couple years ago, we had a leadership training similar to this. So I guess what we had tried to do is create a pattern where the off year where we weren't working on a strategic plan or a strategic planning update, we were doing some type of structured leadership training such as this, where we'd bring in a facilitator from outside. And certainly John Veronic is great. I've worked with him before. And so this isn't the same program, but I also think, there is some value in bringing some new ideas in as well, because I think people like to see somebody different. The last person we brought in was Rick Melmer, and I think some people knew him and liked him as well. And I did bring this up and talked about doing something like this, and I certainly enjoy these types of things personally. And this is maybe not the right time to do it financially. So that's, I guess, where the commission has to weigh that. I mean, it is almost $10,000, and that's a big expense. And so for a couple of days of training, that's not inexpensive, and so I understand that as well. Knowing John and knowing his personality, I'm sure he'd be willing to shelve it as well if we wanted to wait till later in the year to see where we stood financially. He would totally understand that as well. There's 2 dates here he gave as opportunities. They're early on in the spring, but I know he'd be willing to work with us later as well, but maybe now isn't the right time, and maybe this year isn't the right time, and we'd understand that perfectly as well. But so that was kind of my thought, is that perhaps some years where we're not doing the structured strategic planning, maybe having some leadership training. One of the things, as Brittany tried to say politely, that I'm at fault of is identifying great workers and then just assuming they'd be great managers. And that's not always the case, and so we want to make good leaders out of good workers and good managers out of good leaders, and sometimes those things aren't two in the same. And so trying to give everybody at least the option to have those skills, and sometimes folks that are great commissioners haven't been exposed to leadership training, and sometimes people who have been exposed to leadership training haven't been exposed to commission training. So we're trying to make as well-rounded people as we can. So I guess that's a long-winded way of saying whatever you guys want to do, we're fine. We're comfortable with. We have enough work to do if you don't want to take the time out this spring.
Commissioner, go ahead.
I appreciate that. And I have two things. One, I love John Baronic, and I can guarantee if he's doing it, it's going to be entertaining. So it isn't the dreaded, like, horrible leadership training I'm sure some of us have been subjected to over the years, not through the city, by the way. My couple of comments, one, are not against John, two, the other idea. Three, it gets extremely difficult, at least for me in my job, to get away multiple times a year. We do strategic planning, and then to request this again, I happen to look at the dates that John just proposed. I can't do either one of them. I'm out of town. I already know that for work, so this is really not enough time to plan a work schedule accordingly. So having said all of that, and it sounds like it's something you really want from middle managers, is it something like he'd be willing to just maybe do middle managers now? I mean, the bulk of this expense is the commission, and I just worry about that with a tight budget year. 5,000 isn't a ton, but it could make a difference in some equipment or something needed later down the line. Would it be something he split up, or as Amy said, maybe we wait until a fall date, or can we tie that to some strategic plan, like maybe the morning is strategic planning, the afternoon, so it makes it easier for people to have more time to plan it. Maybe it works for everybody else. If it works for everybody else and everybody wants to spend the money, you can just do it without me, which is fine, but I'm just curious if this is something you really want from middle managers. That is only like $3,500, a little bit more palatable at this point, but those are just my thoughts.
Yeah, nothing's set in stone, so this is all discussion. So I'm sure if we went back to him and asked him just for a one-day thing, he would be more than willing to accommodate that. So whatever your pleasure is, we would be able, I think, to work with him on it.
One of the things I wanted to say to Brittany is that are there ways that, is it against the rules for commission and middle managers to be together for training?
I don't believe so. I think his thought on that is there's kind of two directions on what he would be training them on. Like what is expected of the commissioners and how you're leading kind of the city in that government level is a little bit different than what we're working with on supervisors that are directing staff and trying to be a leader for staff, pull the best work out of staff, that sort of thing. So I'm again, that's a conversation I could have with him and see if he would be willing to kind of bundle it all together. Just in the initial discussions, we didn't go too far because we wanted to see basically just what was this cost, what did it look like if we were to move forward. But that I can absolutely have that discussion with him.
Well, it's just an idea because one of the things that I think that leadership training is important. And this is an idea that I've had for a couple of years. And again, I have asked about it. Is it possible when things come up and it's and we have leadership training available? Is it possible for commissioners and the middle managers to be together? Again, if it's not, or if it's a different focus, like I can appreciate that. But I just thought, would it be possible?
Sure.
So, Commissioner, go ahead. Do you have a question?
I just wanted to say I agree with Commissioner Mosier. I'm not sure if we need it, but I do think that it's something the staff should have access to at least every couple of years. You get turnover, new people, and just giving them an opportunity to work together and improve their skills helps everybody. So I agree that if need be, if there's a money concern, let's make sure the middle managers get the training and we can wait.
I think it's a great idea. And then how do we go about picking the middle managers? 'Cause obviously, you said some have already gone. Do we pick people that then haven't gone so there's an opportunity for all, or
Sure.
what's your ideas on that?
Last time we had the discussions with the department head level, they were able to identify not even necessarily people that maybe were in a supervisory leadership role yet, but people that were potential up and coming that, in the future could potentially be leaders. So I think this being a different training, I don't think that we would necessarily need to exclude anybody that's already gone through it.
Sure.
I think people can benefit from going through it again. So it would depend on dates. As we get into the spring and summer, it's going to be really hard to get, some of the park staff and public works are getting deep into projects. So some of that would be the timing of the schedules on when it works for staff availability. And then last time we were just able to get kind of a head count of how many people were available. His projection was 25 to 30 people he would like to see. Much bigger than that. It gets a little bit harder to manage. So that's where we would start at, is department heads identifying people they would potentially like to see go through the training, see where our numbers are at, then look to specify a date and still see who's available.
Okay, great. Commissioner, go ahead.
Yeah, I like that idea of, leave it up to the city manager, I guess, to schedule, pick the date, pick the people. I don't think the commission should lead any of that. And if there is a budget amount, we could pick the number tonight and just kind of leave it for, you're privy to when you want to do it and how you do it.
I think, Commissioner, if you're directing it to be centered on the staff, we can fit that into our budgets, and we wouldn't need you to take action if that's where the commission's comfortable, and this could, I guess, die for a lack of a motion unless somebody wants to make that motion. But I think that amount would be small enough that we could absorb it into the budgets of the department of those who are going.
Okay. Any other comments before we don't get a motion? No other comments? Okay. So then it looks like then this will just die for lack of a motion. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on then. Next, the updated personnel manual. Consideration of memorandum number 26-28, recommending the City Commission approve the revised personnel manual and adoption of resolution number 26-09. Commissioner, what's your pleasure?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any commission discussion?
This is just kind of a little technical point, but looking at the personnel manual that was in our packet, page 37, the other holidays, it always has a date or a day of the month. And so for Native American Day, I think we should say second Monday in October. And I just want to say also, it's nice to see Native American Day on this list. It wasn't very many years ago that the Yankton community was kind of an outlier. Yankton County, Yankton City, and Yankton School, none of them closed for Native American Day. County changed about 5 years ago, the school about 3 years ago, and now that we've added it to our holidays, this community is no longer an outlier in that area, and I think that's great.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else? Okay, anyone from the public? Okay, seeing no movement, roll call.
Mosier,
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 3, crushing of salvage concrete and asphalt, change order number 1. Consideration of memorandum number 26-29, recommending the City Commission approve change order number 1 to the crushing of salvage concrete and asphalt contract with Slowey Construction of Yankton, South Dakota, as originally authorized under memorandum number 24-232, revising the contract performance date from October 2025 to May 2026. Commission, do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion? Seeing nothing, no lights come on. Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Number 4, truck purchase for the Department of Public Works Street Division. Consideration of memorandum number 26-33, recommending the City Commission approve the purchase of a 2027 International Model 56,000 GVW 6x6 truck from North Central International LLC, utilizing Sourcewell contract number 032-824-NVS for a cost of $155,863 for the Department of Public Works Street Division. Commission, do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion?
Just to clarify, these were in
Yes.
the original budget, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Any further commission discussion? Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 5, truck purchase for the Department of Public Works Street Division. Consideration of memorandum number 26-35, recommending the City Commission approve the purchase of a new 2026 Ford F-550 truck from Lamb Motors of Oneida, South Dakota, in the amount of $58,951, based on the state bid for the Department of Public Works Street Division. Commission, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. Any commission discussion? Yes.
This was also budgeted and is in under the budgeted amount?
That's correct. The total budget is $85,000. The remaining funds will be used for hydraulics and a dump body for the new chassis.
Any further discussion? Seeing no mics, come on, anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Luckily, we haven't had to have too many of these here this winter. Item number 6, snowplow purchase for the Department of Public Works, Street Division. Consideration of memorandum number 26-36, recommending the City Commission approve the purchase of a 12-foot loader-mounted snowplow from Sanitation Products of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, utilizing a Sourcewell cooperative purchasing contract in the amount of $22,889 for the Department of Public Works, Street Division. Commission, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. Any commission discussion?
I do have a couple questions.
Sure, go ahead, Commissioner.
So I see all the snowplows go through the parade lights. They look great. I'm not a snowplow operator, but are these needed? What are we doing now for snowplows? Or just, are they broken, replaced? What? I just got asked a question for the taxpayers because I have that question.
Yeah, the plows take abuse every time we use them in the plowing event, and as time goes on, they need to be replaced. This particular one will actually be purchased with funds that are carried over from last year, from the snowplow that was in last year's budget that wasn't purchased. So as time goes on, if we identify we need plows, then we like to make the purchase. If we have milder winters where we're not using them as much, then we don't get as aggressive on replacing them, so.
Thanks.
Okay, any other questions?
I've got one quick question. What is a time frame as far as a expected life, that type of thing on the plows? I know it varies.
That varies
based
a lot
upon season. The last 2 years, they're
Yep.
going to last a long time, but
They can last quite a while if you have a hard winter, a lot of hard pushes with them. They may not last as long. They can break, they do break. They have parts on them that wear, pivot points, hydraulics, they wear out. So it's hard to give you a lifetime estimate of a snowplow because it just varies year to year and how they're used, so.
Okay, any other questions? See no lights come on. Anyone from the public? Okay, see no movement, roll call.
Brunick.
aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 7, snowplow purchase for the Department of Public Works, Street Division. Consideration of memorandum number 26-37, recommending the City Commission approve the purchase of a truck-mounted snowplow from Sanitation Products of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, utilizing a Sourcewell cooperative purchasing contract in the amount of $19,093 for the Department of Public Works, Street Division. Commission, do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. Any commission discussion? Yes, Commissioner, go ahead.
I don't suppose this is money carried over from last year too, is it? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, this is this year's budget. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Other questions? Okay, anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, item number 8, truck purchase for the Department of Public Works, Street Division. Consideration of memorandum number 26-38, recommending the City Commission approve the purchase of a 2027 International Model 37,000 GVW 4x2 truck from North Central International LLC, utilizing Sourcewell contract number 032824-NVS for a cost of $124,913 for the Department of Public Works, Street Division. Commission, do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any commission discussion? Seeing no mics come on, anyone from the public? Roll call.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, number 9, discussion of amendment to the City Yankton Code of Ordinances, Chapter 2, Administrative Code. Consideration of memorandum number 26-40, recommending the City Commission discuss including adoption of the agenda to future commission agendas and provide direction to Attorney Denherter if the body would like to consider a formal amendment to Chapter 2 of the Code of provide direction to staff to include adoption of the agenda procedurally. Additionally, staff requests considering the possibility amendments to Chapter 2 and providing Attorney Denherter direction regarding what to include in amendment in Chapter 2, if anything. Okay, let's talk about it. Commissioner, go ahead.
Thank you. As everybody knows, our agenda is prepared by the city manager the week prior to our next meeting. And to me, adoption of the agenda gives us our first opportunity as a city commission to formally accept that agenda, that meeting plan. And I think it's good because it helps us kind of confirm the priorities and objectives of the meeting. It may help us in preventing discussion from going off topic. And it just gives all board members a chance to suggest any change of order or perhaps tabling an item, moving it to another meeting. It gives commissioners an opportunity to do that at the start of the meeting. So those are my reasons. I do think I've mentioned earlier that most of the boards that I follow the minutes of do this. And I think the reasons I cited are probably the reason they do that.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner, go ahead. Oh, who was first? Go ahead.
But so there would be no changes in the agenda because it's been published, but we could already do that. We could table something correct now. So what would we gain by doing this except going through a procedure, but we wouldn't make any changes, moving things around because it's been published?
We can do it. We have done it in the past, but this gives us a formal mechanism to do it.
Yes, Amy. Oh, Commissioner, go ahead. You're first. Thanks.
I understand where Commissioner Hanoff is coming from. I've listened to the state's attorney do the open meetings law review 3 times already this year, and I've read the pamphlet numerous times. Even the state's attorney, or the attorney general who created the pamphlet, calls it it's a temporary agenda until it's officially adopted at the beginning of the meeting. And I think it just gives more meat to what we do. It says we're adopting it, here it is, now it's official, no changes, and it just clarifies it.
City Manager, go ahead.
I just have some questions really for the city attorney and for you guys to think about. We listed a few things, other things in Chapter 2 that want some feedback on, and if we do the adoption of the agenda, if we want to put that in our actual ordinance, or if we want to just do that procedurally, because we then started talking down a rabbit hole at staff about what if we're coming to a meeting and we need to then, put in, if we want to put in something, for example, you don't show up, I don't know. You've got a fire call, literally.
Yeah.
And then we're doing a mayor pro tem. We're doing that now informally. Is that okay? Even if we adopt an agenda? Let's get it all right how we want to do it. Let's get this right, because I feel like now we've changed Chapter 2 a couple times, and that's okay. Let's just do everything the right way. And then, are there any of the other things that we found here? I know some of you took a look at Chapter 2. Are there any other things we should be doing or could be doing better that we can sweep up in this change if we're going to formally adopt? And then I know it was important to you, Ross, that we don't add things with this tool.
Right.
Because we don't want to put anything into an agenda and not at the spring of the moment, so the public is not aware that we're going to all of a sudden vote on something that wasn't notified.
Right. I mean, it's up to this body if you guys want to add essentially legislatively an additional procedure in. For me, in protecting you as a body, it is very important that we do not open the gates to adding additional items on the agenda. I don't think any of you are pushing for that, so I don't think it's kind of maybe a moot point, but I did have to dig kind of deep into the rules. That there was that blurb in the brochure provided by the Attorney General's office that cited an opinion from the Open Meetings Commission, and I was able to get a copy of the full opinion from the Attorney General's office, and I reviewed the case law that it cites. And in each instance where the Open Meetings Commission authorized and where the court authorized the addition of new material, it was because it coincidentally, what was added to the agenda fit within the broad purview or the scope of what was already on the agenda. So it wasn't a broad authorization to add things by vote of the body at the beginning of the meeting. It was basically fitting it within kind of a tortured reading of the statutes. So if you want to add that procedure, I don't mind, but I would strongly encourage you to just confine it to removing things from the agenda or maybe moving items around on the agenda. I think historically we have done that informally. I don't think it's typically caused issues, but it's up to you if you guys as a body wish to legislatively add that.
Then Ross, sorry.
Go ahead. Oh, Commissioner.
I just had a question. So if there is an issue, who's going to come after us? The Attorney General?
Actually, it's within the purview of the state's attorney, who has the authority, and in the absence of the state's attorney, yes, the Attorney General, but it's the notion that the state's attorney can decide either to take something that is perceived to be a violation and turn it over to the Open Meetings Commission for a formal opinion, which is how we got the opinion that I was just referencing, or prosecute. In which case you guys could individually be sitting as defendants, and remember, that's an elected position, and someone could be using it to gain points for re-election or something. So I don't want to see you guys be made the example of.
And I'm not pushing for it, but just so you're aware, the state's attorney sits in on every county commission meeting, and they do it all the time, and he doesn't have an issue with it. In fact, when he's done his review, he's brought it up that you can do that. So I think I understand your concern, but I think it's overdone.
Amy, go ahead.
So Ross, my question is then, if the commission decides to codify this into the agenda, and then my example is right, that, we do a roll call, we adopt the agenda, and the mayor still hasn't shown up, and we don't know where he is, and so then are we stuck? We can't elect the mayor pro tem, we can't do anything. I don't want to, I don't know how to say this, hog tie, that's not the proper way to say it, but I want to, hamstring, thank you. I don't want to hamstring, you know what I mean? I don't want to give them, and maybe that's considered an emergency, or can we write that in there somehow, or just things that could come up like that?
The point is taken because it actually, in my opinion, when you legislate how things have to go, how do you not go anymore in that direction if you have a need to go in another direction? That's the issue that I'm having.
Or let's just find out what the other cities are doing when that occurs.
Sure.
Because they must, they're doing it too, so there must be a way to do it. Well, again, maybe we should just find out what they want to do first before we start trying to figure out
This is a
how to
great
do it.
debate, though.
Well, and there's something, again, we're just talking about this specific point, but one of the things that I've always kind of wondered about too is that when we have people that show up, if we're talking about the agenda when under public appearances, so when we have people that are scheduled, we give them an hour. But it says right here that they're supposed to have 3 minutes. And so but when people show up to speak at the mic, I try to hold to that 3 minutes. How do we?
The 3-minute limit is not legislated in our ordinance, and you guys are authorized to create procedures that expand the scope of what's in your ordinance. Just the more procedures you add, the more things you have to do.
Sure.
I guess that's what it comes down to. And one of the things that we don't legislate is Robert's rules. One of the things, that, like if a meeting, and I can't give you a good example off the top of my head, but if a meeting goes off the rails, or if we have a need to completely rejigger how a meeting is running or operating, we can vote as a body to completely suspend Robert's rules. So, I mean, having the flexibility to adjust isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I don't want to appear as though I'm advocating for a direction in this case either, because it's your meetings as a body, and if you guys want to add more structure to how you do it that's in ordinance, that's up to you.
Couldn't it be as simple, going towards Mayor Villanueva's point, couldn't it be as simple as just adding another line in there that says the commission may extend that for certain presentations?
That'd be my preference for you.
Now, things could change when we talked about other legislation coming up. Am I wrong?
Well, I don't know that for sure, Mayor, but, there's always a chance, as happened last year, that something that the legislative body does in session could change our way of doing business. I don't know of anything top of hand, except maybe in executive session. Now, that wouldn't impact your agenda, but something could occur. But I'm guessing by the time, if you do make an ordinance change, by the time a second reading comes around, we might be able to be flexible enough, particularly if you include something else other than just adopt the agenda, if the commission chooses to codify that.
Okay. Go ahead, Russ.
I've got one more thought that Bill's comment is really kind of a good example of. This body could just ask the city manager to include a numbered item on the written agenda that says approve and adopt the agenda. I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be baked into the ordinance as a rigid rule, but we could just use that procedurally if that's how this body wants to operate, do business without making it law.
And I think that's what Commissioner Haniff is getting to, because we've looked at other entities, and it's just like, it's listed roll call, approve minutes. Number 3 would be approve agenda. I mean, it's just a simple step.
Most of them have the agenda before the minutes.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I would suggest that we adopt it as just a procedure early in the meeting. This is our agenda, and we're going to go forward, or we're going to make a change in order or whatever, depending upon who may be appearing. They may be under time constraints, or we might be, just how we need to shuffle things around. So it gives us some flexibility, gives us a process, and we can try it for a while and see how it goes without tying up an ordinance.
Sure. Okay. Yes, Commissioner, go ahead.
I think that sounds like a wise way to go about it. The only thing that I have is what we witnessed at the county meeting when we were there for the E911 allocation, and that took place in that they approved the agenda, but they had inadvertently struck the motion that was the item.
Your item on the agenda.
They inadvertently struck our item that was on the agenda. And because they had inadvertently done that, but they had already passed it, we could no longer be on the agenda, and we had to wait till the following. Now, it was fine in that circumstance. However, if it was something that was more time sensitive, that would be an issue. It struck me as strange that you couldn't go back and say everyone just agreed that was a mistake. But because it had already taken place, it was done, and we couldn't be back on the agenda, or we had to come back to a following meeting to be on the agenda. So, procedurally, I can see the validity of it. I just don't want to get ourselves into a spot where we're all of a sudden in that situation. It was a strange situation to be in. I was grateful that it was not necessarily a very time sensitive item. I would hate to be in that spot.
Sure. Commissioner Conklin, go ahead.
And I sympathize with what the city went through there. I think the way we conduct business, I think we're pretty safe. I think we take a little more, I want to get in trouble, but, you make a motion, you second, we discuss it. I think we're going to have enough sense to really dig into it, and is this the right way to do it? So I don't foresee that happening with the city.
Okay.
There were a couple of other, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
There were a couple other items that I came across as I was looking through the Chapter 2. Section 221 talks about 3-year terms. And for those of us, Bill and Dave and myself, that were elected last year, because of the change in the state law, how does that affect what's in there?
I think state law took care of that for you guys for this year. So you are okay for this particular year, and the state took care of that for you. And now going forward, you'll be back on the 3 years. So you guys just got a bonus from the legislature.
And then you guys took care of all your boards. We did a one-time extension on all your appointments for the volunteers.
And I had one other item. There was Division 5, Commission for Reconciliation. And hadn't seen or heard of that before. And is that still active or necessary?
It's not active. When we revised Chapter 2, last time we revised Chapter 2, which I think was the year before you were on the Commissioner Birch, we decided to leave that in there as a tool if we should ever want to use it, because once it's out, we can't use it. So I think the Commission's feeling was, let's leave it in there in case it is a tool we ever do want to use.
Any more discussion?
Yeah,
Yes,
Mayor.
Commissioner.
So Ross, one question. I mean, for the caveat, if you're going to add this to the approval of the agendas with the understanding that you're not going to be able to, you could still add stuff to the agenda, but we're going down a bad path. We start adding stuff to agenda in an open meeting, right?
That's downright dangerous.
Yeah. So, that's fine if we pass this, but with the understanding you want to change the order or delete something, that's fine from the agenda, but adding something gets us in real trouble. And I don't know how we differentiate that for years down the road and further commissions, future commissions,
Yeah.
just because some people are going to think they can probably get away with that, and then we're in trouble with the public.
There's precisely one reported Open Meetings Commission decision on that, and then 2 cases that were cited by that. And in each instance, they got by with it because the published agenda was written vaguely and broadly enough that it encapsulated the additional business that they added. So that you can see how that could be a very dangerous slippery slope if you just throw stuff on because you vote on it at the beginning of the meeting. Sometimes you can maybe sneak it in with something else. Sometimes you might end up making a public spectacle and prosecutions, or it could be very messy for you.
Okay. So it sounds like, again, City Manager Leone, it is in your purview to be able to add that agenda item.
Yes, I'm happy to add it, and, we can procedurally add it and see how it goes for a while and see how the commission likes using it. And if it is something you want to codify later, we can do that. I'll put it in right after the roll call next meeting and see how it goes. We might have to remind each other a little bit here to do this, Lisa, for a couple meetings just because we're not used to it. And we'll just see how it goes and touch base with you guys later and see if you like it. And I don't think we need any action, Mayor.
I don't think so either. Okay, so if I have no motion then on the floor, then this will die for a lack of a motion. But again, what the direction is, we will have what Amy just said. She will add it to that to the agenda, and we'll see how it goes. Everybody good with that? Okay, that's what we'll do. Okay, item number 10. This is going to be consideration of memorandum number 26-39. Excuse me, recommending the City Commission approve resolution number 26-10, authorizing the state to issue a work order to Banner Associates, Inc. to proceed with the inspection of city-owned bridge structures. Commission, do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. Any commission discussion? Seeing no mics come on, anyone from the public? Roll call.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Oops, aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, number 11, special events alcoholic beverage license. Consideration of memorandum number 26-41, recommending the city commission approve the application for a special on-sale malt beverage retailer's license for one day, June 5th, 2026, from the Center, 900 Whiting Drive, Yankton, South Dakota. The event will take place at the center. Commission, do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion from the commission? Seeing no mics come on, anyone from the public? Roll call.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Abstaining as I serve on the board.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. And number 12, updated intergovernmental contract for the SDPAA. Consideration of memorandum number 26-42, recommending the city commission approve the updated intergovernmental contract for the South Dakota Public Assurance Alliance and authorize the city manager to sign said contract. Commission, what's your pleasure?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. Any commission discussion?
Could we have a little clarification on this one?
Please.
This is a good measure of housekeeping, as we like to call it. The SDPAA provides our general liability, workers' compensation, and auto insurance. So that's something where among state finance officers, we call them the pool. It has been very beneficial. We've been a member with them since 2005. So they have updated some of their contractual lingo in their contract, and they're asking us just to agree and give them an updated contract.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Anyone from the public? See no movement, roll call.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, future business. This is a time for the commissioners to address anything that they would like to see in upcoming meetings. This will not be deliberated right now, but we will add it to another future meeting. Commissioners, do you have anything? Okay, seeing no mics, come on. We'll move on to, we will adjourn into executive session to discuss contractual and personnel matters under SDCL 125-2. Do I have a motion to move into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Okay, we're adjourned.